Well. Tonight was absolute torture, if you ask me. How are you guys doing tonight? It is January 29th, 2021, and tonight is your go-home episode of Friday Night SmackDown, leading into the Royal Rumble this Sunday. And also my apologies. I forgot to press the go live during the starting thing, so we started a little bit rough on during the intro at some point, but man. Okay, so I see that Marcel is telling me that Jon Moxley is on New Japan Strong right now. What is going on, man? What is going on? Can I pull up New Japan Strong? No, I cannot. Let's see here. I'm trying to look. Is he going for man, I don't see. He's beating up Kenta. Oh, amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's crazy for Jon Moxley because he's doing all the other stuff as well. Crazy. Jeremy says, how old are you? I am 31, man. I am 31 years old. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, it is your Friday Night SmackDown post show tonight, going into the Royal Rumble. Tonight was the go home episode of SmackDown, and man, the go home episode of SmackDown and Raw certainly did not deliver. Neither one of them delivered. It's a shame, man. I'm doubling down. People can be mad all they want, but there is absolutely no hype for the Royal Rumble this year. It is brutal. Absolutely brutal. Chloe says, AOW, you're late. Gold winning the Rumble is confirmed. Oh God. Who's confirming that? Anyways, let me say what is up to everyone here. Lots of people tuning in. My apologies. I screwed up the intro. I forgot to push the go live. So Logan, how you doing? Joe Papa Nation, Marcel. Let's see here. Ryan, Chloe, Jeremy, Obi James, how you doing? Raphael, Leroy, how you doing? Flash, good to see you. Coach Nick, welcome, my friend. Pro Gamer, how you doing? Good to see you. Ashton, Owen, Alex Silver, Basili, Anthony, Hassan, Prit. Seems like a lot of new faces here tonight. Y2L, my show was boring. That's cool, man. I don't really care. Let's see here. Sam, how you doing? Valentino, Edwin, how you doing, my friend? Lo, welcome back. The Lad, congrats on 1,000. Thank you guys so much. We did it yesterday. We cracked that magical 1,000 subscriber mark. Couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much. So much. I'm very excited to be doing all of this YouTube stuff. It's so much fun to sit here and chat with everyone. And it's way more intimate and personal to be able to chat with people, get to know everyone and remember everything. So I love it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. We have a huge weekend here. We have the Friday Night SmackDown post show. Once I'm done with this, I will be recording my Royal Rumble predictions video that will be released tomorrow morning. Even though I wanted to wait until tonight to do it so that hopefully we would get some more information for the Royal Rumble, and I'm still as clueless as ever before. So that video I'll be recording tonight after this will be uploaded tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow evening, probably about the same time as right now, we will have a community Royal Rumble prediction show where everyone else will be able to give theirs as well. And then Sunday, of course, we will have the Royal Rumble post show as well. So lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff. Very exciting. So if you're here and you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, please make sure to hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. It means a lot. Let's see here. Okay. Anthony says, why did you have to put the Miz's face up? Why? I was searching for the Roman face, the cringe face, and I couldn't find it. This one popped up, so I used this one instead because I was in a rush. I was in a rush. I mean, that guy can be here. He's just giving me watch time. I don't really care, man. I don't care. Ashton says the second hour of SmackDown had VCam written all over it. Man, it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. I'm not here to argue with people. I really don't care. I'm just here to have a good time, man. Just here to have a good time. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. All right, let's see here. Marcel says it seems Moxley versus Kenta is happening in Japan. Perfect. Okay. Prince says AOW, who's your Rumble pick for men and women? I got Daniel Bryan and Bianca Belair. I'll go into more depth with all of those, of course, in the video tonight. I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm going to talk about, so it might be pretty short. There is not much going on at the Royal Rumble this year. 2021 Royal Rumble match card. I think there's only 4 things here. Ryan says, gonna have to watch past Rumble matches in order to get hyped. I know, right? Ashton says, I got Cesaro and Belair. Man, Cesaro winning the Royal Rumble would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Leroy says, what if the scary finish to the Royal Rumble is Braun Strowman winning? I don't feel like Braun Strowman winning the Royal Rumble is that scary. I definitely feel like it would suck, but I don't think that would be... what did they say it was? Deathly scary or something like that is how they worded it. Hoodie says, hashtag Royal Rumble no hype. 100%, man. 100%. This year is crazy. Okay, so for the Royal Rumble card, we have the Men's Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble, the Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. We also have the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Gold. And then we have a women's tag team championship match, apparently Asuka and Charlotte Flair versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Wow. That's it. So we have 3 matches and 2 Royal Rumbles. That is the entire Royal Rumble card. What does the 2020 card look like? 2020 Royal Rumble match card. They have to have more than that, right? Oh, Mella and Banks. Correct. That one's not on here, though. Shame on them. Okay, so we have 4 matches then. 4 matches. Is that let's see here. Royal Rumble 2021 matches. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the Rumbles. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. So we're 2 matches short from last year. Ashton says they got to stop spoiling Royal Rumble entrants. Yeah, man, it's kind of brutal because tonight obviously Braun Strowman is going to be one of the entrants in the Royal Rumble, which certainly could have just been saved. I don't quite understand what happened tonight. When I have ever said that SmackDown is Blue Raw, tonight is the perfect, tonight is a prime example of SmackDown being Blue Raw. What is going on? There must have been a COVID outbreak. Something is obviously going on. The last match took 3 different instances, and it was like 45 minutes of the show alone. And man, that ruined it for me, man. That ruined it for me. Ashton says, I only like Paul Heyman spoilers. I know, right? Not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Owen says, being from the UK, having 4 matches helps my sleeping pattern. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is nice to not have to stay up till 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Sam says, Gold versus Drew will be shit. Changed my mind. I think we're all on the same page with that, man. I think we're all on the same page. It'll be pretty interesting to see where they place that. Where they're going to place that match. It's going to be really hard to tell what the outcome of that match is, but I hope that it's not bad, man. I hope that Drew McIntyre gets a big win. Coach says, did you watch Dark? I'm friends with Ray Jazz. No, I do not watch AEW Dark. I think I've watched 1 episode so far. I haven't seen much of it. it's definitely something that I want to get into, but I haven't had the time lately. Alex says, what's the over under on the time for the Drew and Goldberg match? Man, it's probably gonna be like 4 minutes tops. Chloe says, I can't wait for the Goldberg counter on Sunday if he wins. Hey, I don't know how long you guys have been following me on social media, but the last time that Goldberg became the Universal Champion, I made a bunch of posts on him on Instagram. If that is the case for this Sunday, I'm digging all the way back to that date. I'm going to go find them and I'm going to repost them once again. I enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. There was like a lot. It was like 10 of them. Knee through the chest says Brock Lesnar Royal Rumble winner this year. It's very possible. Very possible. I think that Goldberg is very high on the list of Royal Rumble winners. And something that, you know, it's interesting. It's kind of a positive and it's kind of a negative in this instance. Like, here we are just a couple days, 2 days before the Royal Rumble, and we have absolutely no clue who's going to win it. No clue. Yes, that is definitely a good thing for sure. 100%. I think that is a good thing, but also it's a bad thing as well, because it's not like they did this on purpose. You know, this is kind of just they have no promotion. They have nothing going for almost anyone. So it's very hard to tell. Although I do think that Daniel Bryan could be a solid choice. They've hinted at it a lot. AJ Styles is another one since he's been the gatekeeper as well. Flash says, wow, no bleep for gold. Did it not bleep? Did I not push it hard enough? Uh-oh. CM Punk says, congrats for 1K subs. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Like I said, thank you to every one of you that did it. Subbed. You guys helped me out. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Silly says they show too many commercials because the 3rd-hour show is a total drag and there's nothing really exciting happening and the companies need to make the money. Yeah, lots of commercials, man. Lots and lots and lots of commercials. Alex says, did you have Drew winning before last year's? I'm not sure. I can't remember if I had Drew McIntyre winning the Royal Rumble last year. I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look. Prit says, what about Ronda as the Women's Rumble winner? I'm not sure. I could definitely see her being a part of it. I don't think she would win it, though. I don't think she'll win it. Prit also says, you have betrayed us. What do you mean? I haven't betrayed anyone, man. What are you talking about? Owen says, Gold winning the Royal Rumble no matter what. Dude, I hope not, man. I hope not. This build up for the Royal Rumble alone has crushed my soul. The Royal Rumble is my favorite wrestling pay-per-view of all time. And man, I hate to see it. And at this point, I'm kind of glad that it's not taking place in Seattle, because my fiance and I were going to go to this one. I don't know how I would feel if I spent 10 hours of my day going to the Royal Rumble only for Goldberg to end up winning it. Brutal. Absolutely brutal, man. I would just hate my life after that. Pris has got to censor that old prick, mate. Oh, I must not have pushed the button hard enough. My apologies. I don't want to swear on YouTube. I don't want to get taken down already. We're too soon in this YouTube journey. Too soon. Andre says, who's winning the Women's Royal Rumble, Tamina or Natalya? That's a good one. I can't believe that they announced that. Tamina and Natalya are going to have a match on WWE Backstage. Like, come on. Ashton says, if sorry for cursing, if he beats Drew McIntyre, McIntyre will be added to the list with The Fiend and Kevin Owens for top guys who got killed by Goldberg. So, I mean, we've kind of talked about this a couple times here. One of the possible outcomes that I could think might happen at the Royal Rumble, and I'll talk about this in the video tonight for tomorrow, is that I think that Goldberg could get the win over Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble, hold the title until WrestleMania, they're planning on having 25,000 fans at WrestleMania in attendance. So that leads me to believe that they could probably run back Goldberg versus Drew McIntyre, have Drew McIntyre beat Goldberg for the WWE Championship, and then they would finally have him, McIntyre would win in front of a crowd, and they would be super happy, right? Which would be odd because that would make McIntyre a 3-time WWE champion in just his like one run. It's kind of odd. Jason says 2021 Royal Rumble will be the worst Royal Rumble since 2015. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they'll prove us wrong and they will actually have a fantastic show. That's what I'm hoping. It's the Royal Rumble, so it's really hard to mess up, right? I feel like the Royal Rumble is just something that with its name alone, with the Royal Rumble matches alone, that it's incredibly hard to mess those up. So I'm banking on that. I'm hoping that there's a couple of good surprises. We still have, I mean, at this point, with Jay being removed, Braun Strowman coming in, we probably have about 10 slots for the men's Royal Rumble that is open. And then we also have, like 15 slots for the women. We don't really necessarily know if NXT is going to be involved yet. We don't know if they're going to be bringing in legends or not. I absolutely have no idea what's going on. Absolutely no idea. Marcel says SmackDown was so bad that the people that tell me SmackDown is great are now keeping quiet. I mean, that's usually how it is, man. It's usually how it is. I cannot believe that they did that final match tonight. I cannot believe that they did that. How could you possibly think that that is good? Man, Merchandise Production says hot take, but I want Otis to win the Royal Rumble. He is easily one of my favorite, but they pulled the trigger on him way too soon. Also, his moveset and character are much better. I mean, personally, I don't think that Otis is... I would say that Otis today is in a worse spot than he was when he won the Money in the Bank. He hasn't really been featured on anything. Predominantly, he's kind of tagging with Gable or being mentored by Gable. Nothing crazy has really happened with Otis, and they went through that whole extent to get the Money in the Bank title, Money in the Bank briefcase off of Otis. So I really don't see them pulling the trigger on Otis. I really don't. Andre says, will they still announce who's going to be 30 in the men's Royal Rumble? No. So they were never going to announce number 30 for the men's Royal Rumble, I believe, right? Or am I wrong? Did I get it? Hold on. Let me go through and look. Let me make sure my information is accurate here. From what if I remember correctly, it was the 30th for the women's and the... Oh, no. I am wrong. Interesting. Okay, so on Backstage tomorrow, they are announcing the 30th entrant for the men's Rumble. They're announcing the 30th entrant for the men's Rumble. I was confused because I thought that since they did the 30 for the women's that, man, they're going to spoil both 30 entrants tomorrow. We're going to know both of them? Or do you think that they changed this? This picture I have that WWE posted, it says that on Backstage tomorrow, they'll announce the 30th entrant for the men's Royal Rumble, and then they'll also be announcing the first and second entrants for the women's Royal Rumble. That's not good. Alex says they canceled the men's one, I thought. Did they? Or, are they just going to switch them? They changed it, only the women's. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So they're going to have this match, but then when did they change this? Did I miss something on SmackDown tonight? I think they changed it because they didn't say anything about that tonight. Man, I hate when they do that stuff. I hate it. It's so hard to follow what they're doing all the time because they announce things and then they just pretend like it never existed. Ashton says, why would they announce that? Totally takes away what's special about the Rumble. Yeah, I know. And to me, I mean, obviously the 30th entrant is very important, but also 1 and 2 are very important as well because you're setting the pace for the Royal Rumble. Alex says, look on WWE on Fox's Twitter. Okay. Let me bring it up here. Man, this stuff is so annoying. WWE on Fox. What if the match at Backstage ends in a DQ? I don't know. I guess maybe they'll both just come out, right? Okay, so Renee and Booker and Paige Backstage tomorrow. Let's see here. I know that there was a video posted, but I can't really play it. So they did say, they posted, who will be the 30th entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble? Natalya battles Tamina tomorrow on WWE Backstage to find out. That's all. They didn't announce anything else. Oh, here's another promo. That's 30 seconds here. Let's see what's going on. I'm not gonna listen to it. Don't copyright me. Don't copyright me, please. WWE Backstage is back for a exclusive Fox guests. Huge exclusive announcement. Okay. Come on. Get to it. So that it doesn't even say on here. Oh, who will enter number 1 and 2 in the Men's Royal Rumble? Okay, so they swapped them. Okay, so tomorrow we'll find out the first and second entrant in the Men's Royal Rumble, and then we'll have the match to determine who will be the 30th entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble. They just swapped them. Whew, okay. Valentino says, I hope that they change that. That would be shit. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. What about my return, brother? I don't see CM Punk returning. If CM Punk was to return, I really don't think that they would blow that on no fans for sure. Let's see here. Merchandise says, I think at Rumble, Rhea Ripley will attack number 30 and take their place. That would be interesting, but you know, I don't like all the gimmick stuff, man. I'm not a fan of all of that. They do it so much. It kills me. It kills me. Matthew says, what's up, AOW? How are you feeling? I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good as well. Despite all of the terrible shows this week, I'm still excited for the Royal Rumble just because it's the Royal Rumble. I'm hoping that they do us all good and they put on a good show. It seems Moxley versus Kenta ain't gonna happen for a while if it's happening in Japan. How come, Marcel? Knee through chest says, if the last two left are Andrade and Father Rollins, who you rooting for? Andrade, 100%. 100%. I really hope that he returns as well. James, I keep missing your text, man. I keep missing it. James said, would there be any hype if Goldberg challenged Roman Reigns instead? I mean, that's still a possibility. I think that Roman Reigns versus Goldberg could happen at WrestleMania, even if he doesn't beat Drew McIntyre this Sunday, and also if he doesn't enter the Royal Rumble and win it. I think that could be something that happens anyways as well. It was their big match last year for WrestleMania, and now that Roman Reigns has the strap, I could certainly see them wanting to have that match happen regardless. So who knows, man? But I definitely think that that match is in the cards no matter what. Ashton says, do you think Rollins will come back at the Rumble, face or heel? I personally would hope that he would return and continue his Messiah gimmick. That's just me personally. I don't think that he took it as far as he could. And unfortunately, the whole pandemic era of wrestling started around then. And he was just plagued with that and with his team. AOP, I can't remember which one, Akam or Razor, got injured. So they were taken out. So he lost them. Then Austin Theory was with him and got taken out. Then he had Murphy. So it's pretty much just ended up being Father Rollins and Murphy. So I think that there's a lot left to give in that whole Messiah gimmick. So personally, I would like to see him return for that. If he's a face or a heel, I don't really care, but I just want to see the Messiah gimmick continue. Anthony says, sorry, AOW, if I post my comments several times. No worries, man. I'm trying to get through everything here. Let's go ahead and see. I see your other one. Anthony says, what if Goldberg beat Drew, then The Fiend comes out and challenges Goldberg for the title and beat him, and then Randy challenges The Fiend for the title? That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I personally, I don't want the Fiend anywhere near any sort of WWE championship. I definitely think that there is a Fiend and Randy Orton feud to continue here. So I'm assuming that will happen when he returns. A lot of people are expecting the Fiend to return at the Royal Rumble. So who knows? I don't see either of them being involved in the WWE Championship picture, though. Sam says, do you think Becky Lynch is returning? I don't know, man. I don't know. I would hope so. It would be fantastic to see Becky Lynch. I think she's really missed in the women's division currently. The current women's division in WWE is not that great, to be honest. So it would be a breath of fresh air to see her return once again. She has definitely been missed, if you ask me. James says Renee will give us an update on her baby bump tomorrow as well. Yes, that'll be exciting to see. Also, something exciting about that, or not exciting, something interesting about that is that they called her Renee Young, even though she's not working with WWE anymore, which is kind of interesting. I want to see the burn it down gimmick. I don't like the Messiah gimmick. Fair enough. I think a lot of people probably feel the same way. For me, I thought that the Messiah gimmick was pretty good. I think that it has a lot of potential, I guess, if you will. But I think that it was used poorly. And like I said, I think the pandemic and injuries and stuff like that really plagued Rollins and his gimmick. So hopefully I would like to see him come back. You know, he was also plagued by the whole Rollins and Mysterio family feud that went on for like 8 months. Man, that was terrible. So I think a fresh start with him would be pretty interesting. Jeremy says maybe late this year she could return. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how long it takes for someone to recover after giving birth, or not to recover, but to be, you know, ready to return to the ring. Ashton says this is just a theory. What if Wade Barrett makes a shocking return and wins the Rumble? That'd be crazy. I don't think a lot of people would expect that to happen. I'm more so hoping that Samoa Joe pulls a return. I would love to see that, man. Somehow, some way, Samoa Joe's music just starts playing and he just gets up, takes off his suit, man's in full gear underneath it, and just starts destroying people. I would absolutely love to see that. Warrior says, I mean, after slightly over a month after giving birth, I doubt Becky is ready to return anytime soon. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works, to be honest. Marcel says, I feel Moxley is in a top feud with Omega on AEW, a pregnant wife, and travel restrictions in Japan as tight as ever. I don't see it happening anytime soon. Is Strong in Japan? I wonder what they're gonna do for that. I'm very excited to see that. I definitely think that Kenta will walk away with that IWGP United States Championship for sure. Owen says odds on Bob Backlund entering the Rumble. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. Edwin, Andrade needs to return. Yes, 100%. 100%. Mary says, did you guys see Becky's new profile picture on Twitter? The back of her jacket says, I'm coming around. Does it really? Let me take a look see here. I got Twitter pulled up right here. John, oh, I see the, oh man. Oh yes, it does. It does. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Ian says, why was the show garbage? I need your opinion. The show was garbage because the last hour. Look at the last hour of the show. I don't even think anyone needs to explain the last hour of the show to know that it was just terrible. It's kind of sad that WWE is desperate for her return too, says Jeremy. I know, man. They're hurting right now, man. This is brutal. This is brutal. Chloe says, SmackDown post-show, talk about wrestling. Raw post-show, talk about food and WandaVision. Speaking of WandaVision, new episode of WandaVision came out today. It was good. It was very good. I'm very excited for the show. I think it's great. I think it is very great. Marcel says, Moxley said the match will happen in Japan. Strong is in the US. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Man, that's exciting. That is very exciting. Finally, super glad to see that finally coming to fruition and happening. This has been a match that's been delayed for months now. Punk says, where is Jey Uso? I have no idea, man. I have absolutely no clue what's going on with Jey Uso. Sean Ross Sapp did post earlier today that I think I posted it on Instagram, and said that Jey Uso was removed from the Royal Rumble graphic. So maybe he came in contact with someone who had COVID. Maybe he has COVID. He was not on last week's episode of SmackDown either, if I remember correctly. So I don't know. And it seems like half the roster didn't show up today for SmackDown either. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what this means for the Royal Rumble or anything. They could be crippled right now by that. I have no idea. Jeremy says, are you going to be doing a watch along for the Rumble? No, I'm not gonna do a watch along for the Rumble. Doing any sort of watch along kind of scares me. I follow Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful on Twitter, and I always see them having issues with doing watch alongs on YouTube. They're always, they had like I can't remember if it was SummerSlam or Survivor Series, but they just scheduled a live stream and they got taken down, flagged for copyright. And when you get flagged for copyright and content on YouTube, you are not able to live stream for 90 days. So that would pretty much wipe me out. I wouldn't be able to do a post show for 3 months. 3 months. I've considered doing them over on Twitch because I'm not sure if, I don't really care about my Twitch. It wouldn't be terrible if that got taken down and I couldn't stream on that, but I don't know. I also just think that sitting there for like 5 or 6 hours would be kind of brutal. I probably wouldn't have a voice. Aeon says, are you still excited for the Royal Rumble? Of course. I said this earlier, the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of all time. So whether the hype for it is through the roof or nowhere to be found, I'm still excited because I love the Royal Rumble, period. So I'm still holding out. I'm still hoping. I'm praying to Father Rollins that they put on a good show this Sunday. I really am. Ryan Hunt says Adam Pearce is going to enter the Rumble. Man, that would be terrifying. Let me find this WrestleVotes tweet here so that I can remember exactly what that person said. Okay, so they said there's a finish that scares the death out of me, and it's legitimately getting heavy consideration. Yikes. God, man, I hope that I really hope that something terrible doesn't happen. I really do. It'll ruin it for me. It'll kill me. Eddie says, I'm shocked authority figure, not so authority figure Adam Pearce was not on tonight's show. Maybe he might get involved in the Universal Championship. So Sonya Deville actually said why he wasn't on the show. He said that someone pulled some strings and he had the week off. Ashton says, I'm low-key a fan of Adam Pearce. I like Adam Pearce. I don't mind him, but, wasting a Royal Rumble win on him would be crazy. Or even, having him in it, I think is kind of a waste. But, maybe it's not if they don't have the people. Who knows, man? Like, this is so unpredictable at this moment. Like, I really don't even know what to say or put down for my Royal Rumble predictions after this. I have no idea. I might have a 3-minute video to make. I have no clue. I guess I'll probably speculate on some returning people that could show up as well. But I don't know. Maybe some outcomes leading to WrestleMania. I have no idea, though. I'm stumped at the moment. Chloe says, what is Dominik Mysterio's win-loss record? Because I haven't seen him win a match in a while. I need the superstar statistics. I'll tell you right now. They're probably not very good, to be honest with you. Dominik Mysterio. Let's see what's going on here. Can you search, please? There we go. Okay, so Dominik's match statistics. So he is 0-1 for 2021. He's had one match and he has lost that match. In 2020, he had 10 matches. He won 3 of them and he lost 7 of them. James says, just like you, AOW, I was there when Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins won their Royal Rumble matches in Phoenix 2 years ago. Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I had so much fun in Phoenix. We were there for it. That was a last minute trip. Like, we literally, we got an email saying that we could get buy one, get one free tickets to the Royal Rumble. And we were like, should we go? And then my fiance actually has an aunt in Phoenix, or just like, I think she's like 45 minutes out of Phoenix. So we were like, man, I don't know if we can make this work, but we literally flew in, had like a couple hours. Then we had the Royal Rumble that day. We went to sleep, and then we flew out at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So we just stayed with her aunt or whatever for like 12 hours. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, we both went to the Royal Rumble for like $500 or something like that. That was for the tickets, 2 tickets to the Royal Rumble, and we had pretty good seats too. We were like mid-level, and parking and all that, and plane tickets. It was crazy. Ashton says, why was Sonya Deville wearing Mark Henry's pink suit? Maybe it was a hint that she'll be in the Royal Rumble this Sunday. Perhaps a swerve. You know, the salmon suit was for his like notorious retiring promo, right? And then he said, psych, bruh. So maybe everyone thinks that she's just going to be some sort of authority figure, and she's rocking the salmon suit because she's going to be in the Royal Rumble on Sunday. Anthony says, I heard a rumor that Roman's title reign will end at 300 something days, and how long it's been since Roman's been champion. I can tell you how long. Roman Reigns. Actually, I'm not sure if it tells me in here or not. Titles. He has been champion for 153 days. 153 days. So halfway to that 300. Shelva says, where has Buddy Murphy been? They need to do something with him. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I saw that he posted something. Let me see if I can find him. WWE Murphy. I think he posted something about 205 Live like not long ago. That was 4 hours ago. Clip from today's. Yeah, so on January 19th on Instagram, he posted a picture of him flexing and said, Cruiserweight title, do you miss me? Do you miss me? So maybe we'll see him go to NXT and challenge Escobar. Maybe we'll just see him on 205 Live. I have no clue. No clue. Andre says, I wish I lived in the States to go to a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Yeah, man, if this is for everyone. If you ever have the opportunity to go to a Royal Rumble pay-per-view, I highly recommend it, man. I had such a good time. It was so much fun. Just the atmosphere of the Royal Rumble and the chaos from people coming out every minute. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Edwin says, I went to the last Raw before everything shut down in DC. It was my first show. I enjoyed it. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that you had a good time. The last show that we ended up going to was the NXT TakeOver Portland show, which was, I think, right before everything shut down as well. So crazy to think that was just about a year ago, and crazy to see how much has changed. That main event match was Keith Lee and or was it it wasn't the main event match, or was it? Anyways, it was Keith Lee versus Donovan Dickhead, and now Keith Lee is on Raw, and I guess Donovan Dickhead is on Raw as well. Safa, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. James says, when are you doing another Ask Me Anything Q&A? Kind of glad that you brought that up. I'm going to do one the following Sunday after the Royal Rumble. I guarantee that. I promise that one. That's going to be a like 1,000 subscriber special Ask Me Anything on Sunday, probably around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the times that we always go live. So I'll probably just queue it up then on that Sunday, and we'll just hang out and chill and just do whatever. Do whatever for an hour or two. Marcel says, I kind of feel like KO is going to lose at the Royal Rumble, and that's bad given the way he's been booked. Yeah, I certainly don't see Kevin Owens winning. I don't. I definitely see Roman Reigns carrying it all the way to WrestleMania, especially since this year's WrestleMania is so what's the right word? Like it's so unpredictable at this point. It's very unpredictable at this point. AEW Dominik had 2 matches this year. Last week he was also faced. Oh yeah, so Cage Match hasn't updated yet for tonight's episode of Raw. So yes, he would be 0-2. You are correct. You are correct. Anthony says, "Are you going to do an NXT Takeover post show February 14th?" Yes. Yes, I will be doing a post show. My fiance and I don't really do anything for Valentine's Day anyways. Everything is so chaotic, so we usually do it that weekend or the day after or something. So we will both be here watching NXT Takeover, and yeah, we want to 100% be doing a post show. Chloe says, AOW, what if Bray Wyatt's different personalities enter the Royal Rumble with a sole purpose of eliminating El Viper, Randy Orton, and his Lucha mask, then Randy gets eliminated by Alexa? I've seen a lot of people that want to have the faces of Bray Wyatt come out. Personally, I don't want to see it. I don't think that The Fiend being involved in the Royal Rumble benefits him whatsoever. I don't know. I guess I could see him returning and messing with Randy. I don't know, though. I think if they were to have The Fiend at the Royal Rumble, I think having the other incarnations of Bray Wyatt would be probably a waste of entrants. So because that would take up 3 entrants, or at least 2. And then once you saw like Eater of Worlds Bray or Husky Harris or Firefly Funhouse Bray, you would know that the Fiend's going to be involved anyway. So it would kind of take away from that special moment. Big Chicken says they're going to have Braun eliminate like 10 people. Yeah, probably. Kevin says, am I the only one worried that Shayna will face Big Oof at WrestleMania? Ooh. Brutal. Hey, who knows? Maybe Shayna Baszler will run the Elimination Chamber once again this year like she did last year. Shayna Baszler eliminated every single person last year. Ashton says, I just realized something. WWE is putting 29 other women in the Royal Rumble. Career at risk. The Big Oof is in the Rumble. Yeah. It's brutal. It is brutal. Is Dana Brooke still in the picture for the Royal Rumble? I know a lot of people... There was a lot of people mad at everyone last week when... actually, that was on Monday. That was this week, wasn't it? Whenever Nia Jax busted Dana Brooke on her head from that like powerbomb chokeslam thing, I saw a lot of people arguing, saying that it was brutal and she hurt her, and I saw a lot of people saying that everyone else was dumb and that she just sold it very well. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out as well. I guess if she's there, maybe she's all good. If not, then I guess that leads another mark there on Big Oof's injury hit list. Big Chicken says, I heard Backstage aren't revealing the men's number 30, but they are still revealing 1 and 2. Yeah, so we kind of traced that through at the beginning of the post show here. They are not revealing the men's number 30 anymore. They're doing 1 and 2 for the men. Flash says, I have this feeling that Bray is going to do the same thing Taker did to Kane in the 2004 Royal Rumble. Very possible. Very possible. I think anything's possible at this point for the Royal Rumble. It's crazy. It's crazy how like just they seem to have literally nothing planned for the Royal Rumble. Chloe says, after Big Oof injured Kairi Sane, everyone hated her. Yeah, that was brutal, man. And to see her post pictures of her head just like cut open like that was crazy. Crazy. Eddie says, it's sad that the other women had to see Natalya and Tamina face each other for the number 30th spot for the Royal Rumble. If they were going to spoil the 30th entrant, they should have done a battle royal. Yeah, I feel like number 30, like you should have to earn that. You should really have to earn that. That is like it doesn't get better than that, than entering last. So just being given that and not having a good track record, either Natalya and Tamina haven't done anything. So to have them compete for this spot is crazy. And not to mention that, but last week they were a team, weren't they? The past 2 weeks, they were a team. So it just makes no sense. JVOJ says, speaking of Big Oof, she went on Twitter calling us losers for thinking she sucks at wrestling. Her tweeting that clearly means she's getting triggered about it. Yeah, I see that, man. I saw that where she's just calling everyone a bunch of losers and I don't like that. I don't agree with that thing. I don't like it whatsoever. Like, if you're actually out there hurting people and stuff, I don't think that that's a good look. And speaking about us being losers, speaking about us being a bunch of losers, I'm glad that you brought that up, because something, I wanted to start off the show with this, to be honest with you. But I got caught up because I was delayed with everything. And let me read to you, if you didn't see my post earlier today. You did not see my post earlier today about the interview that Gold did with Ryan Satin. Absolutely brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Evan Wright says Mox confronted Kenta on New Japan Strong. I know, man. We were talking about it. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Of course, it happens while I'm doing a post show and I can't watch and see what's going on. Good old Billy Boy Gold is correct. All right, so let me read this to you. Oh, well, let me give you some context as well. So during this interview with Ryan Satin, Gold was asked what was his best jackhammer, who took it the best, and if he could take one jackhammer back, which one would it be? His best jackhammer was against the Big Show in WCW. He then said that the Big Show was the one that took it best, because if he didn't, then it wouldn't have been possible in the first place, which I completely agree. So we're all on the same page at this point. Next up, he says, he asked him, better yet, which jackhammer do you wish that you could have back? Ryan Satin laughs, says that I think I already know what it is. This is how Goldberg responded. This is a direct quote from the video. Oh, and I should explain that this is about The Undertaker. This is the jackhammer from the Saudi Arabia event where he almost dropped The Undertaker on his neck and probably would have paralyzed him. So this is what he said. 100%. 100%. And what people don't understand about that is that, people bitch and moan about me hurting myself prior to getting in the ring and bleeding and gigging myself. I do that for y'all. They don't understand. I do that for them because I have to do something beyond human belief to get myself into the zone. Here I am thinking, caring about what other people say. But what could be the other reason for that happening other than me trying to get in that zone to provide them with the best character humanly possible? Unfortunately, I knocked myself a little bit silly that night, and then hitting the turnbuckle and that post, ripping my head open. I didn't know what was going on. My equilibrium was completely off. Whatever. Anyways, it's that one. So you heard it here first. It is your fault for that bad jackhammer. It is all your fault. So every single one of you in chat should be ashamed of yourselves because you almost killed The Undertaker. That is all on you, right? Like, bro, if you don't get the fuck out of here with this nonsense, like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? First of all, I think it's funny that Gold seems to think that headbutting a door is beyond human belief. People probably headbutt doors all the time, okay? I mean, not that they're probably dumb if they're headbutting doors, but that is not beyond human belief. If you need to headbutt a door to become your Gold character, that is your problem, not ours. You don't see these other people saying things like that. I follow this up with a tweet saying, man, I wonder what Bray Wyatt has to do beyond human belief to get into the Fiend character. Do you think that the Fiend is sacrificing children backstage on Raw to get into character? Do you think he's hanging out in morgues? Do you think he's digging up dead people, killing people? Do you think he's doing all sorts of weird, creepy things to become the Fiend? Or do you think he just puts the mask on and puts the clothes on? Like, you're just a strong dude, all right? You don't need to do anything beyond human belief to become a Gold character. Like, this is the one thing that I cannot stand. everything in WWE and everything from company men from WWE that have been drinking the Kool-Aid. This time it's Goldberg. Earlier on, it was Seth Rollins, Father Rollins. Why do you blame the fans? It's not my fault. It's no one's fault but your own. If you cannot become this character without headbutting a door, that is your problem, not ours. Your bad creative is not our problem. You not being able to lift people up is not our problem. I have never said that, oh, hey, Gold should probably have a finishing move where you have to lift people up in the air and hold them for 5 seconds. Like, come on. Ashton says, how could we kill someone who's already dead? I know, right? Of course, maybe he's just so confused. Although it would have been interesting if he would have said that it was the Fiend, that one, because I'm very curious to know what he thinks about that, because that was just a suplex. Marcel says, here's how you use Goldberg. Book him versus Roman on SmackDown. He gets no offense. Roman just destroys, and he's never seen again. Yeah, I mean, personally, this man is just running his legacy into the ground. He really is. The more that Goldberg opens his mouth, the more that I couldn't care less, and the more that I think he just tarnishes everything that he's ever done. Especially when he gets out here and he can't perform. On Monday Night Raw, he came out and said 3 words. He was gassed from his entrance already, and it's like, come on, man. And we're supposed to believe that you're in the world championship scene. We're supposed to believe that you can hang with someone like Drew McIntyre. Come on. Like, if you want to take a WWE match and use that as a reference, Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre, that is what a world championship match should look like. Everyone in WWE is so accustomed, like, especially the Raw side, they're so accustomed to these shitty 3, 4, 5 minute matches because Goldberg had the title and then Brock Lesnar held it for a super long time as well. This is not what a world championship scene looks like. It's just not. It's really, really not. Anthony says, if you had to change the Goldberg character, how would it be? I mean, I wouldn't change it at all. I don't think that there's anything wrong with the Goldberg character. I think that there's a problem with the person behind the character. And it's just so funny to see him say all of these things, and then literally just like yesterday telling people that they need to have thick skin. People are too soft these days. They need thick skin. And here he is crying and caring about what everyone thinks about him. It's just like, come on, man. Warrior says, imagine getting gassed in a promo segment. I know, right? Like, if you can't do your little kickboxing stuff at the beginning of your entrance, like, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Obi James says, Ken Shamrock is older than Goldberg and he is doing better. Yeah, and Ken Shamrock looks fantastic for his age as well. He looks great. Chloe says, that's like saying to become the Messiah, Seth Rollins practices sacrificing, poking the eyes out of goats to go against wrestlers. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's your fault. You wanted a good long-term storytelling, didn't you? Flash says, and I thought drugs were bad. The really thing I have to do, careful, is ramming my head into doors. Yeah, pretty much, man. Do whatever. I mean, I guess according to The Undertaker and Goldberg, doing drugs is like the cool thing to do, and playing video games is for losers. So apparently playing video games and not doing hard drugs makes you soft. So who would have thought? What a weird world we live in. Marcel says, Goldberg did one spear. He did 100%. That's why I'm very interested in seeing how that match turns out this week, or this Sunday more so. Ashton says, remember when the whole 205 Live roster beat up Enzo? Goldberg should get that treatment. Oh, that'd be so good. Dude, that would be like, if it would be so amazing that if Goldberg was actually in the Royal Rumble and they did that Nia Jax thing where everyone beat her up, everyone did their finishers to her. That was so good too. I would love that. King D says, is he going heel or something? I don't know, man. I think that a lot of people, I think what it is that he's just an older person. So he's not used to having social media around. So he's probably not used to all of the criticism. And he probably thinks that everyone is just a bunch of keyboard warriors. You know, like, oh, you wouldn't say that to my face. I'll beat you up. I'll beat you up because you don't like my 3-minute wrestling matches. That's how I imagine that goes. Edwin says, when Gold talks, he sounds like my teacher that I hate so much. I can't stand him. Anthony says Sting is 61 and he's kicking ass right now. Yeah, I mean, I've been loving all the Sting and Darby Allin things, but we haven't seen him in the ring yet. So I'm going to reserve my judgment until we see that go down. JVO says, how would you book the WWE and Universal title matches at WrestleMania? You know, I'm honestly, I'm not mad at the thing that WrestleVote said could potentially happen. I'm not mad at Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar versus Keith Lee in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I think that could be interesting, especially if Brock Lesnar shows up to work. I think him and Keith could put on some good stuff together. On the other side, I think that Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns is my match. I think that's my big match there. Mary says he's so lucky there's no live crowds right now. He would get eaten alive. I think that goes for the company as a whole, to be honest. I think they're going to have a really, really, really hard time bringing fans back in if the WWE product does not completely change. It has to have a complete overhaul. It really does. Really, really does. Alex says, can't we just get Big Match John to beat up Gold? That'd be nice. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if we see John Cena at WrestleMania this year. Hell, who knows? Maybe he'll be a surprise entrant into the Royal Rumble. Wrestle Death says no crowd in the Rumble. Yeah, man, it's going to be pretty brutal. It's going to be very interesting to see them run through and do the countdowns and all the cheering and stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be so weird. King D says, I secretly wish Steve Austin returned. Man, I love Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's probably like my favorite wrestler of all time. Growing up as a kid watching Stone Cold, man, Stone Cold is the GOAT for me. Absolute GOAT. Rocco says, I thought it was only me, but I can't imagine this booking with live fans. They need a 2016 overhaul. Yep, I don't think I could have said it better myself, man. Live crowds would absolutely destroy them. I think that they would just probably nonstop hear what? CM Punk and AEW chants. That would be my guess. Anthony says, I really don't know who to vote for in every WWE match anymore. I mean, a lot of it's still pretty predictable. The Royal Rumble is not, though. The Royal Rumble is very unpredictable at the moment. King D says that they are the last company in wrestling to not have real fans in attendance, right? I don't think Impact has fans, do they? Does New Japan have fans? For Strong and stuff like that? James says, when we talk about SmackDown, we're going to get into the show right now. Right now, actually. We've been talking for an hour, so I think it's safe to say I think it's time to get into the show tonight. Action says, why not do what AEW does and have your talent that you don't use as fans? I mean, I don't know why they don't go back to that. They did it at first, and it was fine until they put up until they had that hockey glass, and they just had everyone pounding on it. Dude, that drove me nuts. Absolutely nuts. King D says, do you watch Austin's TV show? No, I do not. I do not. Is it any good? Is it any good? Leroy says Stone Cold Steve Austin is the GOAT of GOATs. 100%. 100%. I think he will always go down as my favorite of all time. Chloe says, I'd rather see Kurt Angle versus Drew McIntyre. Honestly, I'd rather see multiple angle slams than a spear and a jackhammer. I mean, I would rather hop in there and get my ass beat by Drew McIntyre myself. I'll take a glass cow kiss and a claymore for everyone. For everyone, just to preserve your eyes. LJ says the Miz face is killing me. What do you mean? It's a good one, man. It's a good one. That's my face right now. If I had face cam, that's how I would have looked this entire first hour of the show. Just cringe. Safa says Drew versus Edge at Mania. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people say that Edge could be the winner of the Royal Rumble. So Miz looks like he ate a lemon, pretty much. I wonder what this is from. I'm gonna have to look and find out, see what it's from, because it's pretty funny. Edge versus Roman. I see a lot of people say that, but I'm just over the whole spear versus spear thing. Lacey Evans cringe face. I was looking for the Roman Reigns one, and this one just popped up first, and I was in a rush to get one, so I just went with the first one I saw. When they do the countdown and put audio effects for the people doing the countdown, is going to be cringe. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. They go way overboard for all the sounds. Anthony says, wait. We are forgetting about the typical daily Aleister Black question. Any updates on Aleister Black? There is no updates. That's the update. All right, let's get into this show now. We are over an hour into the post show, so oh boy, I don't want to talk about the show. I really don't. I really don't. Merchandise says, I love Edge, but I'd rather have new stars who can't really get title matches. I agree, man. I agree. All right, let's get into the show here. So tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown started off with Daniel Bryan. I was very excited to see this. This was a huge change of pace. We're usually used to seeing some sort of 15-minute Roman Reigns segment or promo going on here. Marcel says, authors, the show was pretty decent until the second hour. Yeah, I agree. This show had some good stuff sprinkled in it, but overall left a horrible taste in my mouth. Ashton says the promo was great. Yes, I was very happy with the opening segment here. It was nice to see Daniel Bryan clothed and not just coming out in his gear, because I hate it when they do that. But definitely nice to see something a little bit different here. And honestly, I had no idea. I hadn't read anything, so I didn't see any mention of Raw people showing up. I didn't see any mention of them being short-staffed tonight at all. So I was kind of actually pretty shocked to see AJ Styles come out at the beginning. Marcel says Carmella versus Sasha Banks confirmed for the Royal Rumble right now. Oh, interesting. It wasn't confirmed before? Oh, I thought it was. Interesting. Yeah, I see the post now, though. Huh. Very interesting. Let's see, where am I at? That looks like the face of the Miz made against John Cena and Nikki Bella. Jesus. It might be. I'll look it up and see what date it's from. Safa says the best thing about the show was the KO and Roman Reigns sit down. Absolutely. I can't wait to get to that point. Cannot wait to get to that point. So anyways, AJ Styles here came out. They talked about the brand to brand invitation, and they also mentioned the whole thing where like someone can come to a brand from what they say, one time or twice a quarter or something like that. They went through the whole spiel about it, and I was like, okay, whatever. We all know that the wild card rule is never going to die. You can call it whatever you want, but whatever. You know, this is one of those times where it's like, okay, you know what? If they're going to give me AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, I don't really care. All right, I'll suck it up. I'll deal with it. I won't complain about it. So I was like, okay, cool. And the thing that I absolutely loved about this is that we've been calling AJ Styles the Dream Killer, the gatekeeper for the Royal Rumble for about 3 weeks now, and he mentioned it. He said that he is the gatekeeper for the Royal Rumble, so I thought that was awesome. That made me smile right there. Dream Killer AJ Styles is too unstoppable for one brand. 100%. Anthony says Daniel should just do what MVP does and just take his coat. Yeah, you could do that. They could have just battled in clothes right there. But yeah, I mean, these two, I say this all the time. Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are arguably two of the best wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots. I completely believe that 100%. These guys are amazing. It does not get much better than these guys. So no complaints, right? So the one thing that I thought that would have been cool here, I mean, we knew at this point, we didn't quite understand that they were going to be revealing the first and second in the Men's Royal Rumble on Backstage. But I thought this would have been really cool if they were going to have this match to hype up the Royal Rumble. They could have added a stipulation to it where loser enters first. I thought that would have been fantastic. I think that would have gave a little bit more hype for the Royal Rumble, because a lot of people think that AJ Styles is going to win. A lot of people think that Daniel Bryan is going to win. So it would have been cool to have one of them go in first. If Daniel Bryan enters in first to the Royal Rumble, hangs all the way and wins, that would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Christopher says, thoughts on Bad Bunny performing at the Royal Rumble. I'm not familiar with Bad Bunny. I listened to like 10 seconds of that Booker T song. That is not for me. That is not my kind of rap. So I turned it off immediately. Cool for him. I hear that he's a huge wrestling fan. So if that's the case, that's awesome for him. Happy for him to be able to land something like this. Warrior says, AJ and Bryan are this generation's HBK and Brett without the controversy. Yeah. Marcel says, imagine booking AJ versus Bryan to go short and disqualification. I know, right? So I saw this opening segment here and I was like, cool. So we're going to get AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan tonight. I hopped on over on Twitter. It's where I spend most of my time. And I saw that Sean Ross Sapp said that he caught wind that there's going to be a really, really long segment tonight. So I'm like, yes, perfect. This means that Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles are probably going to go an hour. They were probably short. So Daniel Bryan was like, yo, let me go as long as possible with AJ Styles. Like, give me an hour, give me the whole second half of this show. And, eventually, I mean, we'll talk about it, but there was 40 minutes left when this match started. So even that, I was hyped, man. I'm like, dude, they're going to put a 40-minute match on TV with AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Like, man, this isn't going anywhere for the Royal Rumble, but man, this is some good high quality stuff here. So I was excited for that, but whew, boy, did that change very, very quickly. Safa says, should have just had AJ and Bryan have another 40-minute classic, then have the brawl, and then Strowman returns and destroys everyone. I mean, I honestly don't know why they didn't just save Strowman for the Royal Rumble. I guess that just kind of further cements that there's no hype for the show. They're doing anything and everything possible to get people to watch the show on Sunday. And it's very sad. It is very sad. The Royal Rumble is one of the best wrestling things in the world. Andre says, if they had put that stipulation in the match, they couldn't end it in the good old-fashioned way. Disqualification. Yep. I mean, we should have known. I should have known, man. I should have known better. But you know, it's SmackDown, and Daniel Bryan is involved in the creative for SmackDown now. So is Paul Heyman. So I was like, you know what? They're gonna do it. They're gonna deliver. They're shorthanded, so they're just gonna put on a banger. Sure, it wouldn't really necessarily help for the Royal Rumble, but man, putting on a good match would certainly help make me want to go into Sunday, you know, looking forward to having such good matches instead of this disaster that we ended up getting tonight. We should have known better. Warrior says, we should have known better than to think WWE would give us a near hour-long Styles and Bryan match. This is WWE we're talking about here. I know, man. Sometimes I put my faith in them and it just backfires. This was another one. King D says, they need ratings, but oh well, they need big numbers. So I wasn't able to get off the Peacock stream that I wanted to on Thursday yesterday, but that's something that I wanted to talk about as well, is that from now on, WWE's ratings don't necessarily matter. I guess I'll talk about this briefly so we can continue to go through the show since it's already been an hour, but essentially they have a deal with USA that is not contingent on ratings or anything. I mean, they probably do have like some promised ratings and stuff like that, but they're guaranteed like, what was it, like $240 million a year for Raw. I don't know what it is for SmackDown. Ashton says, sorry, AW, but I gotta leave early tonight. No worries, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow and at the Royal Rumble post show as well. But anyways, they're guaranteed a certain amount of money each year for Raw, NXT, and SmackDown from USA and Fox. Now, they don't have to record or report their WWE Network subscribers because they're just going to be absorbed into Peacock. So now they don't have to worry about that as well, because that's Peacock's problem. Peacock is leasing the WWE Network content for the next 5 years, it was a $1 billion deal as well. So now all of WWE's money for the next 3 to 5 years is all coming in regardless of what happens. WWE is getting paid. If they have 5 million viewers for Raw, it doesn't matter because they're getting like 240 million a year, period. If they have 500,000 viewers for Raw, it doesn't matter because they're getting $240 million a year. Of course, if they ever do dip so low, I'm sure USA would be pissed and there will be some stuff going on, but all their money is guaranteed. So maybe that's why they're so lazy. Andre says, will NXT move to Tuesday? I'm not sure if NXT is going to move dates or not. There's a lot of speculation that NXT will be moving to Peacock because in the press release, it says that you'll be able to catch shows like NXT 205 Live and all of that, and then you'll be able to catch the Raw and SmackDown replays. It does not mention that NXT will be a replay. So a lot of people are assuming that NXT might go over to Peacock. I don't think it will go, if this is true and it does happen, I don't think it'll go off anytime soon. But maybe it'll still stay on Wednesdays if it does happen. If NXT does move to Peacock, they're going to lose a ton of viewership. And one of the interesting things about them, well, who knows actually, because their Peacock probably doesn't report how many people watch a show. So there you go. There's the end of the Wednesday Night Wars right there. If NXT gets moved to Peacock, they have no more ratings. They have no more ratings. It doesn't matter if they're on Wednesday. It doesn't matter if they're on Tuesday. Hell, it doesn't even matter if they're on Monday. It doesn't matter. Obviously, they will lose a lot of viewership, though, because some people are just dumb and they don't want to buy Peacock. I think it's a good deal, personally. There's a lot of interesting stuff with the Peacock stuff, though. Lots of interesting things that I do eventually want to talk about. Maybe I'll just make a video on it because I want it to be more educational. There's a lot of numbers and figures and stuff that I want to throw around, so I want to make sure that it's all correct and stuff. So maybe that'll be a video next week because there's a lot to talk about, like I said. Rocco says, I don't know if you heard this, but Peacock is supposed to buy SmackDown and Raw and air it on Peacock. I have not heard that. I have not heard that before. Who said that though? Who said that? That'd be very interesting. I think that, I mean, I've said this for quite a while, is that a perfect world for me, I would love to see Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I wanted them to air on the WWE network. That's what I wanted. I've always wanted to do that. I hate that I'm on the West Coast. I hate that I have to stream these shows. The quality of the shows is shit for me, like the picture quality. There's no reason that I should have to wait 3 hours to watch it. So having to do that really sucks. And it just doesn't make any sense. So I think that'd be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. I would love to see it. And I guess also that would kind of rid them of all of their problems as well. That would rid them of all their problems. There would, if Raw and SmackDown are airing on Peacock, there are no ratings to report. None. And off the top of my head, I believe WWE has somewhere around 1.5 to 1.7 million subscribers to the WWE network. And if I remember correctly from what I heard, Peacock has like 26 million. How many people are subscribed to Peacock? Yep, more than 26 million people. So WWE, let's just say 1.5 million. WWE network has 1.5 million subscribers. Peacock already has 26 million. Crazy. Edwin says, wait, they don't air Raw and SmackDown at 5 on the West Coast? No, they do not. So Raw wouldn't air for me until 8. Same with SmackDown. SmackDown will not air until 8 for me on the West Coast. James says, when real fans return, WWE should do an episode of Raw and SmackDown in a stadium. It'll be interesting to see what they do when fans return. Andre says, we don't have Peacock in Portugal, so will the WWE network continue outside of America? Yes. And so if you are not inside of America, this goes for everything remains the same for you. So your WWE network will be completely fine. There's nothing going on with that. You'll still be able to use it just fine. Nothing will change. Everything will be exactly the same. This only affects people in the US. And at this point, I don't think it's clear that they know what's going on yet, because there's still some more details. A lot of people are wondering if they have to cancel their WWE Network subscription, or if it's just going to get rolled into some sort of Peacock subscription. So we just have to wait for that. And I'm sure everyone will report it when that news becomes available. Alex says, what about AEW and NXT? I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure what you understand. Or wait, what? I'm not quite sure I understand what you're asking. Sorry. That's so unfortunate. I did not know that. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, imagine if a football game was not on at the same time everywhere. Like, if the Super Bowl aired 3 hours earlier on the East Coast than it did on the West Coast. Like, how dumb. The Super Bowl will have ended and you will have known all of the spoilers. It's dumb. Marcel says AEW to HBO Max, please. I'm down for that, man. I have HBO Max, so I'm totally down for that. Plus, HBO Max has a paywall behind a paywall, so they could still do their pay-per-view things as well. So you could watch the shows every week, and then you could pay the extra 30, 40, 50 bucks or whatever it is for their 4 pay-per-views. I'd be down for that. Alex says the time zone thing, do they air live or not? No. So same deal. Same deal. I have to get streams of those as well. The AEW one isn't too bad because my grandma has DirecTV. So I'm able to log into her DirecTV account online and I can just watch it from DirecTV. But you can't do that with the USA Network. Can't do it. You're only allowed to stream the USA Network if you're on the in-home Wi-Fi, which makes absolutely no sense. But for SmackDown, for people that are on the West Coast for SmackDown, you can download the Fox Sports app and you can watch it from there with the East Coast feed. HBO Max is bigger than Peacock. Let's see. How many people are subscribed to HBO Max? 40 million people are subscribed to HBO Max. Yeah, that would be a huge one. Huge one. I have HBO Max already. It's included in my phone plan, so I'm totally down to see that. So yeah, there's lots of exciting things, I think, to go over. And I think even just having WWE on Peacock, and even if AEW went to HBO Max, like just being able to grow your audience from in there and to have that content be at the forefront. I looked at Peacock the other day after, I think it was our Monday stream, just looking at, there's a lot of good shows. I started watching King of Queens over again from it, but the interface is so much better on Peacock than the WWE Network. And also there's a lot of WWE content on there already as it is. There's a Monday Night Wars on there. There's like a best of WrestleMania or something and a couple other things already. And English says SmackDown was kind of hard to watch tonight. Yeah, the second hour was just absolute garbage, man. James says on my TV, TNT and USA are 2 channels away from each other with FX in between. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's go on to the next thing here. B says, I actually thought the ending for SmackDown wasn't that bad. I hope Daniel Bryan is okay. Didn't see him after the 6-man tag match and hoping he didn't get like an injury or something. Oh, yeah, that would suck. Was he not in the... I stopped watching. I stopped like paying attention. I don't know. The second hour was a survival challenge. Yes, it was, man. It really, really was. So after the opening segment here, we got another match here with Bianca Belair taking on Bayley. I thought this match was great. So at this point, I was on a high for SmackDown. I'm like, this is all fantastic. This is going to be a good show tonight. There's going to be, despite the wild card rule stuff going on, we're going to get some good wrestling. So it's like, all right, you know what? At the end of the day, that's all I want. That's all I want. Just some good old-fashioned wrestling. So this was really good. It was really awesome to see Bianca Belair and Bayley. They both did their thing. Bianca Belair, of course, gets the clean win over Bayley. I did mention that this now puts them at 50-50 booking here. So Bayley got a win over Bianca Belair last month. And now Bianca Belair gets a win over Bayley. I did see someone talking in the comments saying that Bianca Belair did win the... what do you call it? The obstacle course. So, I mean, I guess if you want to count that as a W, I guess they wouldn't necessarily be 50-50 booked, but I certainly wouldn't count that as a match or a win. So I'm still having them at 50-50 booked. B says, Braun Strowman ruined the whole thing. Yeah, I was not expecting to see him tonight. Anthony says, was Bianca tearing up? I think she was just kind of gassed from her match. Seemed kind of out of breath to me. But it was very exciting to see her get a super clean win for Bayley. They talked it up as well, saying, you know, a win over Bayley. She was champion for like 300 plus days, 380 days, if I remember correctly. And so this is a huge win for her. This is a lot of momentum for her leading into the Royal Rumble, which is very exciting as well. So hopefully, you'll know this tomorrow because I'll have a Royal Rumble predictions video up. But Bianca Belair is my favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble this year. Alex says, where was Ziggler and Rude? I'm assuming that they are quarantining. I'm assuming that someone came in contact with someone who had COVID or they had COVID. I'm not sure. That's just my guess. That's just my guess. Philip says, do you think Carmella's friend likes Sasha Banks? I'm not quite sure what that whole thing was. Maybe Carmella is in quarantine as well. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about people being in quarantine or anything, but it's very obvious that something is going on. James says, glad Bayley stopped wearing that captain armband. It felt annoying. I mean, yeah, we're pretty far removed from Survivor Series at this point. I always thought that the captain armband was kind of like distasteful as well because you had like Kofi and Woods and stuff. They were wearing the Black Lives Matter armbands and stuff, and then everyone else was wearing like Rip Brody Lee armbands, and then you just had Bayley wearing her captain's one. So I always thought that was kind of not the best move there. Marcel says apparently Charlotte is going to win according to some reports. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope that that's not the case, but man, imagine the 2021 Royal Rumble winners being Charlotte and like Brock Lesnar or Charlotte and Goldberg. Man. Andre says all tag teams are in quarantine. That division sucks at the moment. Yeah, I think all of WWE's tag team divisions are terrible. Rocco says thoughts on Bray Wyatt bringing all faces of Bray Wyatt out in the Rumble like Mick Foley. At this point, I think it's a waste. I kind of touched on it earlier. I don't want to see the Fiend in the Royal Rumble, and I don't want to see the three faces in the Royal Rumble either. Because when you see one incarnation of Bray Wyatt, that you know that the Fiend's going to be in it as well. So I really don't want to see that. That's just me, though. That's just me. I know that a lot of people do want to see that, so if they could pull it off, cool. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the Fiend did show up in the Royal Rumble and eliminate Randy Orton. He doesn't necessarily have to be in it, I guess. He could just show up, lights could go out at some point, or like the Fiend stuff could go on at one point, and Randy could just be in there and get eliminated. Something interesting that they could do is just have all the lights. You could have, like, let's say there's like 8 or 10 people in at the moment. Randy is one of them. You have the typical Fiend lightings going out with the noise and stuff. Everything goes black. The screeching starts. The lights turn on. They're red. And everyone from the ring is just gone. Nowhere to be found. Just Randy Orton, and it's just the Fiend. It'd be like a really weird mid-match gimmick thing that they have. And you could just have the Fiend eliminate Randy Orton or something like that. He doesn't even need to be in it. And then lights could go out again, lights could turn back on, and then everyone would just be back brawling again like nothing ever happened. I could see them doing something like that. Alex says Drew loses the title in the opener, then wins the Rumble to go on the same path as last year. That would be crazy. That that would be so crazy. To have Drew McIntyre versus Goldberg open up the show, have Goldberg defeat Drew McIntyre and win the WWE Championship, to only then have the Men's Royal Rumble be the thing to close the show and have Drew McIntyre win it and say that he's going to go on to WrestleMania and face Goldberg. That would be hilarious. That would be wild. I wouldn't put it past them to do something like that. Warrior says they shouldn't bring Bray back in any capacity unless it's the Fiend's return. I completely agree. I agree, man. James says if Keith Lee wins the Rumble, his career is back. I would absolutely love to see Keith Lee win the Royal Rumble. I would love to see it. Keith Lee is incredibly talented, man, and they really kind of did him dirty with his main roster, quote unquote, run here. Rocco says, in my opinion, I don't even think they have a Rumble winner. That'd be crazy. So what if they did the whole, well, I mean, even if two people got eliminated at the end, they would still be, you know, they'd probably have a match or restart it or something. So I feel like they would have to have a winner. Marcel says Charlotte versus Asuka seems like the WrestleMania match. I think so too. I think that we're certainly going to get that. I was hoping that that match would just naturally happen since they're tag team champions, and that when they lose the titles, then they'll kind of butt heads, and then we'll just go from there naturally. I think Bianca Belair winning the Royal Rumble and going on to challenge Sasha Banks at WrestleMania would be incredible. I think that'd be really cool. That's my pick for that. Chloe says, after exclusive research, the Miz face came from Shane McMahon calling his dad a baked potato. Interesting. That's funny. Very interesting. Eddie says, I do feel like the WWE Championship match will most likely open the show for the Royal Rumble since less people are excited for it. Yeah, you could. I mean, the pacing of it, though, would be kind of crazy. Like, if that match... Like, I don't know the placement of that match, like, if it matters. Because, you know, WrestleMania, they had Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins kick off the show so that they could put the title on Seth Rollins just as, like, a good pick-me-up opener. So I'm not really sure what to expect. I really don't. Obi James says, what are your thoughts on Shayna Baszler winning the Rumble? I would have no problem with that. I really like Shayna Baszler. Marcel says, I think a Royal Rumble match is going to open the show. That'd be interesting. That'd be a hot start for the show for sure. The women's Royal Rumble is really hard to predict as well. Like I said, they have like 15 spots left open. So it's hard to predict, and it's hard to know who is going to enter when we don't know if NXT is involved. We don't know if they're able to bring in legends. We don't even know like where half their roster is at the moment. Andre says it was announced that the women's Royal Rumble will open the show. Really? Did they just announce that? I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything so far. Let me just search for WWE. Thunderdome. This is Big E, Bayley. I don't see anything about that so far. Yeah, I don't see anything about that so far, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Marcel says, doesn't that always happen? James says, let's make Roman sucks. Roman sucks. The new version of John Cena sucks, which he doesn't. Roman's on fire, man. On fire. No worries. No worries. I just looked. I didn't see anything for it, but Anthony says Big E said that his strategy will be baby oil. Oh God, he's Big E Nakazawa. But anyways, yeah, nice to see Bianca Belair pick up a lot of momentum here going into the Royal Rumble. As I've said a million times this month, she is my favorite to win the Women's Royal Rumble. If it's not her at this point, if NXT is involved, I could definitely see Rhea Ripley doing it. Could definitely see Rhea Ripley doing it. Philip says, let's talk about Sasha Banks. What about Sasha Banks? What about her? We could talk about her. Next up after this match, we had another match that we saw last week. This was King Corbin taking on Dominik Mysterio. I don't quite understand why they ran this back once again. I think Rey Mysterio may have explained it on commentary, but I wasn't completely fully listening there. I think I missed it. I was under the impression that this week we were supposed to see Daddy's Plan or whatever he was talking about, where they were saying that they're too short to take on Baron Corbin. Why, I have no idea. It makes no sense. So of course Dominik Mysterio loses again to King Corbin, and after the match, of course there is some back and forth between King Corbin and Rey Mysterio. I'm not sure if this is the debut or if we should be expecting the debut of Damian Priest anymore. Maybe Damian Priest will just be a surprise in the Royal Rumble. And then maybe he'll just be on SmackDown and then they'll just go about it from there. I'm not quite sure. Chloe says my pick is still Alexa Bliss. That's actually not a bad choice either. I could see Alexa Bliss being the winner as well. Definitely. James says, I can't believe Dominik got pwned. 2 weeks in a row, man. 2 weeks in a row as well. I'm not sure how long this match was, but last week he got beat by King Corbin in just 2 minutes. Marcel says AEW just tweeted that Moxley was on New Japan Strong. Ooh, that forbidden door. That forbidden door is opening up. Did they post about that happening previously? And showed photos. So I'm looking at it right now. Yep. So I'm assuming that Jon Moxley said, however we got to get it done, we'll get it done. Jon Moxley attacks Kenta on New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. AEW quote tweeted it with some eyes. It's happening. It's gotta be. I wonder if, oh man, now I said it a million times. Every single time I see Jon Moxley on AEW TV, I feel like Kenta's going to attack him from behind. Now I'm going to feel that way even more. I'm going to feel that way even more now. I really want to see Kenta on AEW. And I think that AEW New Japan partnership would take AEW to that next level. It might not be Impact that is able to take AEW to that next level with a partnership, but New Japan, 100%. 100%. There's so many incredible, huge matches that could go down with New Japan and a AEW partnership. Just so much. Obi James says, it's happening. Is something else going on? Obi James also says, Priest and Rhea have not been on TV scene since New Year's Evil, so the call-up is happening soon. Definitely. Philip says, you think Sasha Banks is going to retain the Women's Championship, or you think somebody's going to interfere Carmella and Sasha Banks match? I think that Sasha Banks is going to retain 100%. I think she'll have it till WrestleMania, if not longer. Noah says, what AEW versus New Japan matches would you book? Well, I mean, right out the gate, Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. 100% right out the gate. They could do Mox and Minoru Suzuki again, but on AEW television. There's tons of stuff, man. Tons of stuff. They have Okada. Bring Okada to AEW Dynamite? Oof. James says the right time for WWE to bring back the wildcard rule is for when AEW invades. I don't ever see that happening. Never. Marcel says Phoenix versus anyone. Yeah, 100%. Phoenix is incredible, man. Incredible. Chloe says rule number 1 of WWE: stay out of a feud with Baron Corbin because you'll be caught in his mid-card vortex. And you'll just be instantly lost and forgotten forever. Never to recover. Alex Silver says Bullet Club versus Bullet Club. 100%. That's the match that I want. I want Bullet Club versus Bullet Club in a blood and guts match. That's what I want to see. Andre says, do you think Jay White will appear in the Royal Rumble? No, I do not. No Jay White. No Jay White. Philip also says my favorite pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble. Mine too, man. Mine too. I love the Royal Rumble. I love me a good old Royal Rumble. I usually go back and that's one of the things that I watch the most on the WWE Network when I do go back and watch things. It's Royal Rumbles. They're so good. So much fun. Next up, we saw Big E backstage in what I believe is a Gremlins Christmas sweater with his Intercontinental Championship around his waist. He was over there talking to Sonya Deville, who I believe mentioned that some strings were pulled and that Adam Pearce had the week off. That's why he's not on TV. Next, we saw The Miz and John Morrison walk up. Some more wild card shenanigans for the night. These guys were in full gear as well, so I think it was kind of obvious that they were going to be wrestling tonight. And they ended up getting into an argument and a brawl with Big E backstage as well. Sebastish says Hackerman 5000 hacks the backstage show, so we don't get any clue until the pay-per-view. Yeah. Yes, please. Hell in a Cell is your favorite pay-per-view, Chloe? Not a bad one. Anthony says on video TikTok, the R-Truth theme song is John Cena theme song, and his new catchphrase is "You can't see the truth." Oh God. It's kind of interesting that we haven't seen him in the 24/7 championship that much on Raw. Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Obi James says, I like Big E's attire, sweaters of classic 80s movies. Yeah, it's been fun. I'm glad that they're allowing him to be on his own, but still be himself. That was the one thing that I was really worried about. I did not want to see Big E change into some big dominant strongman at all. I did not want to see that. So this was good. This was good. James says it was necessary to do this brand to brand invitation since it's winter, 4 matches every season. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't think I'll ever be a fan of any of this whole sort of crossover stuff. I don't think that the wild card rule or the brand to brand invitational, I don't think that any of that really benefits anyone at all. Although, with that being said, if what we have kind of talked about with Roman Reigns becoming a dual champion, being the WWE and Universal Champion, I wouldn't mind him and the Bloodline floating from Raw and SmackDown. I think that would actually be a positive for once. Eddie says R-Truth has been on Raw Talk every episode. Yeah, I mean he's the co-host for it though, isn't he? I was talking about just Raw period though. Raw the show. Philip says I'm ready to see Carlito. Yeah, I would expect him to be a guest. Andre says Big E needs to defend his title more often. I know. If you saw my post, so those things that I've been posting, I did one with the United States Championship with Bobby Lashley and the Intercontinental Championship with Big E. I think this is pretty cool just to give people a kind of a bird's eye view of what's going on with things, because I don't think that everyone realizes what's all going on at all the time. So it's interesting to see that Big E has had the Intercontinental Championship for 37 plus days, and he's only defended it 3 times, and that is against Apollo Crews 3 times, and the longest match. So he had a match with Apollo Crews. I can't see. It's hard to see on this monitor. Let me bring it up on my phone here, so I get these times correct. Where are we here? Where is Big E? Okay. So Big E has had 3 title defenses in his 37-day run, all 3 against Apollo Crews. The first match was 2 minutes and 55 seconds. The second one was 2 minutes and 59 seconds. And the third one was 3 minutes and 12 seconds. So in total, 369, a little over 9 minutes of matches. Chloe says, are you talking about your AOW title timeline? Yes. I should write that down because I really do like that name a lot. And I want to do tons more of these with even just wrestlers and their 2020 stats. I think would be pretty cool. This and maybe wrestlers like their last 10 matches that they've had, just period. There's a lot of times that we see a lot of matches like over and over and over again. There was a time where it was Apollo Crews versus the Hurt Business. I think they had like 17 matches back to back or something like that. So I think just giving people a different view of things and just a different perspective kind of helps a little bit. So I definitely want to do a little bit more of these, and I certainly will be. And I'm assuming that they'll just continue to evolve over time as well. So just some cool, exciting new things to do. I'm calling those stats the superstar statistics. I might have to make that a brand. There you go. All right, where are we at here? Okay, so after the Miz and John Morrison show up, they give us a little segment here, a little lead into WWE Backstage. they announced that on WWE Backstage tomorrow that Natalya will be taking on Tamina in a singles match, and the winner will become the number 30th entrant into the Women's Royal Rumble this year. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage, man. What has Natalya and Tamina done this year to even deserve a 30th spot? And you know what? I'm not only going to ask that question, I'm going to answer it as well. Natalya. Let's search for Natalya here. What has Natalya done to deserve a 30th entrant spot? Let me see here. Let me do match statistics. So in 2021, Natalya has had 3 matches. She's won 1 and lost 2 of them. In 2020, she had 39 matches, won 9 of them, lost 30 of them. Not very deserving. Not very deserving if you ask me. Now, Natalya did beat Bayley. She did. She did. I'm even scared to look up Tamina. I'm terrified. King D says TJ is her husband, and TJ is a producer, so that's how she gets it. There you go. I guess that's an actual answer there. Chloe says the boat Natalya versus the yacht Tamina. Oh God. All right, let's look at Tamina's stats here. Tamina has had 1 match in 2021, and she lost it. In the year of 2020, Tamina had 12 matches. She won 3 of them. She lost 9 of them. Whew. In 2019, Tamina had 52 matches. Let me say this again. In 2019, Tamina had 52 matches. She won 4 of them. She won 4 of them and lost 48 of them. Yikes. She had a 7.7% win rate in 2019. Oh man. Wow. That's insane. So yeah, both of these very deserving of that number 30th spot. So who knows? Sorry, did you say 4 or 4 more? No, just 4. Just 4. 52 matches, 4 wins, 48 losses. Obi James says big oof. That is 100% like a perfect description of a big oof right there. 4 wins out of 52 matches. Yikes. Anthony says Tamina had a championship opportunity against Bayley. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. King D says the stipulations should have been reserved for Bayley and Belair. I mean, I personally would like to see the 30th spot reserved for someone special. Chloe says, where's the oof sound at? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. We need an oof sound. 100%. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I need a notepad, man. I need to start writing all this stuff down because I forget. We need an oof sound. We need the ding dong doorbell as well. And damn. Ron Simmons, damn. We need all those sounds so I can just spam the hell out of them like this. King D says AJ should be cross-brand. I don't think so. I think it takes away from their value to have people overexposed like that. Chloe says, I'm going to list all your ideas and send it to you. Right? See, I wish that... Oh, do they? Oh, they do have stream markers and stuff on here. There's a fart sound for oof. Oh God. So one of the things, like, I'm used to streaming on Twitch, not necessarily Facebook. So, or sorry, why I cannot speak today. Why can I not speak today? Not used to streaming on YouTube. Good Lord. So there's not an easy way to create clips and stuff like that, which sucks because I got to go through and watch all of these again. I want to go grab the Humberto Carrillo thing and the NXT thing. Talking about people not getting moved up. So yeah, there's stream markers here. I don't want to click the button though, because I don't know what it does. I have to look at it. Andre says, do you have a keyboard like Cesaro on the up, up, down, down channel? I don't know. I have a Corsair keyboard. It's like a G something. Probably maybe a G6 because it has 6 buttons on the side. I don't know. It's just your standard gaming keyboard that lights up, and it has 6 macro buttons on the side. Chloe says words are hard. AOW. Yeah, today, Jesus. Good Lord. Merchandise says, I wonder why Daniel Bryan was stuttering and messing up words so much during the opening promo. Yeah, that was kind of weird, but I feel his pain because I do it all the time too. I don't know. Speaking is just hard. It's weird to say, but it really is. Like, I literally will just be saying like random shit. Like, I don't know why I just called YouTube Facebook. I hate Facebook. So like, it's not even in my view or anything. So I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure. Yeah, I mean, for me too, like this whole like experience is kind of weird because I hate public speaking and stuff. So this is still kind of the same when I can see that number of how many people are watching me and listening to me. Still something kind of hard to get used to. Chloe says Daniel was stuttering earlier. Michael was messing up a lot. Words are hard. They are. There must just be something in the air today. There must just be something in the air today. Jeremy says some people think I'm dumb when I can't speak right. I know, man. I feel so stupid. Like even on the Wednesday night post show, I for the life of me, I could not remember what Jericho's elbow finisher was. It's the Judas effect. I know that, but it just, for some reason, sometimes, man, things just skip my mind and I can't put the words there. I can't find that one word that I'm looking for to describe everything, even though I know what it is. Anthony says, you've been streaming for an hour already. You're forgetting your words. I know. Oh my God, it's been an hour and 50 minutes. We need to get through this one. Because I still have to record a Royal Rumble video tonight. And I'm not sure how that's going to go. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do, to be honest. So I have to have something on the screen for people to see and be interested in. So yeah, I'm not quite sure. That's why I'm a dancer, so I don't have to speak. Yeah, man, I wish I could just type out this show or something. Gerald says it happens to all of us. Yeah, it's frustrating when you just can't think of a word that you know, and you're just like all like, ugh, no clue what's going on. Anyways, after this, we were treated to another backstage segment here with Sami Zayn once again, trying to get to the bottom of all of this controversy, trying to get to the bottom of everyone just constantly screwing Sami Zayn. He met Shinsuke Nakamura in the back, and I really liked this part here because they were referencing when they were a part of the Artist Collective, I think is what they were calling themselves. When it was Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro, when they were a heel team. So it was cool to see him reference that, but then they took it like beyond, like way beyond. When Shinsuke Nakamura debuted in NXT, it was against Sami Zayn. So that was really cool to see them throw back to that as well. I really, really, really like that. I love seeing continuity from all of this. I like there being stories involved, and I like them actually bringing up NXT as well. It's nice to see NXT be involved in things. I can't stand it when they just act like NXT doesn't exist. It still bothers me to this day that Donovan Dickhead and Mia Yim were beating up Keith Lee. It drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely bananas. Donovan Dickhead is Keith Lee's best friend. Keith Lee gave Donovan Dickhead a shot at the NXT Championship and the North American Championship. Why are you mad at him? Mia Yim is his girlfriend. She goes home to him at night. How do you not know that is your girlfriend beating you up? And better yet, she knows she's beating him up. It drives me absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Enigma says, you reminded me of that Kenny Omega segment on BTE. Yeah, that was my favorite. That's why I will never call him anything other than Donovan Dickhead. I think it's hilarious. The Artist Collective, the answer to AEW's Nightmare Collective. Oh, the Nightmare Collective. Ooh, oh man. Chloe says, I thought Shinsuke was going to say, sorry, no speak English and walk off. I would have popped huge for that. Huge for that. Andre says, doesn't your wife beat you up? Yeah, all the time, man. I just keep getting beat up by some masked woman. It makes no sense. I don't understand it. Chloe says, did your wife beat you up in a mask? It's just rough, man. It's just rough out here to be married. It's terrible. Daryl says, sorry, AW, I gotta go early today. Have a good rest of your show. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you for helping me get to 1,000 as well. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna have to kind of get through this show. There's actually not much left to talk about as well. So, like I said, I have to record the Royal Rumble video after this, and I'm not quite sure what to do yet. So it'll be interesting. It'll take me a while to figure out. Rocco says, I've been trying to find that segment with Omega and Donovan. Does anyone know what episode it's on? Yeah, actually I do. Let me see. I posted it on when I used the video. So if I can scroll down and find said video, I can tell you. It's on, oh man. Where is it? Where is that video? Here it is. Here it is. So this was on September 23rd, 2019. This video is legendary. Let me see. I put down what episode it was. It's in these comments somewhere. Yeah, so episode 171 of BTE. Shots to take and girls to date. Episode 171 of BTE. Shots to take and girls to date. There you go. That is the episode right there. I have it saved on my Instagram. Perfect. Rocco says, thank you so much. I've been trying to find it since I saw it on TikTok. Yeah, I believe it's the very end of the episode, if I remember correctly, because that whole segment is supposed to be after they filmed. Alex says, what's the Royal Rumble drinking game? I have no idea. I'm not quite sure if I would want to play any sort of WWE drinking game. I feel like everyone would be pretty doomed on that one. All right, so where does this lead us? Oh, to the best part of the entire show. This was my favorite part of tonight's show. It was incredible. We had the final showdown between Kevin Owens and your tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Marcel says, a guy telling me now that Goldberg should beat Drew McIntyre because it will draw more interest. I think it'll draw a lot of pissed off people, if you ask me. Chloe says, every time AOW says Goldberg, you take a shot. Oh, God. And England says, drink 30 shots. Winner gets the main event of Mania. That would be death. Absolute death. Speaking of drinking game, the Impact drinking game. Take a shot every time Matt Striker says our spot. Our sport. Does he say that a lot? I'm assuming he does. Anyways, this was the best part of the show. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. I think we all pretty much know what I'm going to say at this point, and I think we all pretty much feel the same way. Roman Reigns still absolutely killing it. All of this was so good. I liked how Roman Reigns is just chilling in what appears to be his locker room because of that chair. So this was just so good. So good. And Kevin Owens, man, it's hard to say that someone like Kevin Owens is underrated, considering that he's a former Universal Champion and he's pretty much always in the main event scene. He's always heavily featured on the shows, but man, I feel like Kevin Owens is underrated. Like, Kevin Owens, he's so good in the ring. Like, he's incredible. His matches are fantastic. He's willing to do crazy spots. You know, Kevin Owens did I remember this all the time because it's at the top of my analytics for Instagram, but I will never forget Kevin Owens running up that Raw ramp, or Raw Titantron that was like literally a ramp. He runs up it and does a front flip off into the group. That was incredible. He wants to jump off of the ship for WrestleMania. He jumped off of whatever it was at last year's WrestleMania onto Father Rollins. Like, he's just willing to go above and beyond. And I absolutely love it. I can't respect this guy enough. And not only is his in-ring abilities very good, but his promo skills are just as good. Like, this man can speak. Whether it's being a babyface or being a heel, Kevin Owens always delivers. If you need someone to fill a spot in anything, Kevin Owens is your guy. He will go out there, give a 120% promo with a 150% match. Like, this guy is just kills it. And the end of this promo where he throws his chair in the back and he starts yelling, like, the passion and all of that stuff is just, it's so good, man. It is so good. I love to see stuff like this. I wish that more people today could pull stuff off like this. Like, Warrior says KO definitely doesn't get enough credit for carrying SmackDown alongside Roman. Yeah, like, it's always Roman carrying the show, but man, Kevin Owens is doing a fantastic job as well. And I mean, I think there's something big to be said about that, because this is the third time we've seen Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens clash. I mean, if not more, if I'm remembering correctly, but I'm still interested. And I'm one of, like, I feel like I'm a very picky person when it comes to running matches back to back to back and doing the same things over and over and over. But I literally cannot get enough of this. Cannot get enough of it. These guys are absolutely killing it. So when this is all said and done, I'm pretty sure, you know, if I had to make a guess, I would say that Roman Reigns is certainly going to retain at the Royal Rumble. If that's not an interference from Jay, maybe he'll just win clean this time, actually, to cement this feud being over, him finally not needing help. I don't know. I could certainly see Jay or Jimmy getting involved as well. I think Jimmy Uso returning and helping would be nice. I would love to see that. But yeah, I hope that they have something good for Kevin Owens after this, because if you can you have your two best people running in a feud right now. So if they can split them apart after this, they can have Roman continue to do what he's doing at the main event level, and then put Kevin Owens somewhere in there as well. Maybe help put over Big E in the Intercontinental Championship scene, or maybe just feud with someone else as well. I think that they can make SmackDown much, much better, much more watchable as well. Because these are the guys to watch for SmackDown. 100%. 100%. Marcel says, did you see Kota Ibushi tweet? He subtly challenged Kenny Omega for a battle of the belts. What? So it's interesting that you use those words as well, because AEW filed a trademark or a copyright for Battle of the Belts. Let's see here. Translate these tweets. 2008, I haven't forgotten that time when I asked for a match on YouTube. At the time, I was desperate. The position has been reserved, but now the chance has finally come. I want to have a full-scale competition. I think this will definitely raise the professional wrestling world and fans. Now professional wrestling needs more stimulation. What's the next one? Does he specifically use those words? Because I'm not seeing it, unless maybe it's a reply to someone. Here's a reply. This was on January 24th, though. Oops, what information is that close? I don't think so. I'm not seeing that worded or that verbiage, but man, that would be very exciting to see. Very exciting. The match is likely Moxley and Kingston. Very obvious outcome with great promos from the challenger. Chloe says, I want to see a Jimmy versus Roman feud before he joins the Bloodline. I could certainly see that happening. I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be honest, as a filler to lead to WrestleMania. Like I said, my personal prediction is Daniel Bryan. I'm not going to have my prediction be Brock Lesnar or Goldberg. So I'm relying on Daniel Bryan. And I think that if they wanted to, in the meantime, before they get to the spot where they can start building for Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, they can certainly do Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. And then once that is sealed and all done, then you can have the heel bloodline. Whew, that would be a good one. Very, very, very good one. Andre says, Cena wins the Royal Rumble match and challenges Roman at WrestleMania. We need to see a rematch between those two. I guess that'd be possible. I wouldn't be mad at Cena winning the Rumble being at WrestleMania, I don't think. As long as he showed up to work. But I would I would much rather prefer someone like Daniel Bryan, though. Chloe says, I would love Daniel and Roman to be Bryan's retirement match. I don't think he's ready to retire, though. I think he's just ready to go part-time and leave for his kids for a little bit. But I think he's willing to come back and put in the work and stuff. Raphael says, to me, the 4 most likely winners are Lesnar, Goldberg, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. Lots of talk for Edge winning. Man, I guess Edge winning wouldn't be the end of the world. It would sort of be like my feeling for John Cena, but I don't know. Warrior says Cena doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble to get that match, honestly. Plus, he's already won 2. He doesn't need a 3rd. Fair enough. I guess the same could be said about Edge. He really doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble to get a match with Drew McIntyre or for Roman Reigns, for that matter. For me, like, I say this a lot for the Money in the Bank and the King of the Ring stuff, and I think this could be said for the Royal Rumble as well. I don't think it always needs to apply, but it certainly should at some points, is that I think these big things should be used to propel someone who's sort of on the fence between that mid-card and world title scene. So for me, I would use it to propel someone up into that scene, instead of always just putting people who are always there. Like Seth Rollins doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble to challenge for a world championship. You know, Kevin Owens doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble to challenge for a world championship. Same way that even Daniel Bryan doesn't need one, but it would be a huge thing considering that he's ready to go part-time and he's never done it. So I have no problem in that, but I just really wish that they would focus on creating some more stars at some point. All right. So anyways, this was an incredible segment here. Best part of the show for me, hands down. Plus, we got a little new meme format here with Roman Reigns turning himself off while Kevin Owens is yelling at him. So maybe we can insert some sort of Monday Night Raw thing in that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And, it's always fun to make fun of Monday Night Raw. So next up, we got to our main event match, the match that everyone was looking forward to. We saw AJ Styles taking on Daniel Bryan with 40 minutes left. 40 minutes left in the show. I think everyone was extremely excited for this. This was going to be a good one. 40 minutes left. Hell yes. Hell yes. And this is where this show, man, I don't even know if I have the words to describe what happened to this show from this point forward. Marcel says the show fell off a cliff after this. Yes, that would be putting it very, very nicely. This show came to a screeching halt after this. This show got ran into the ground so much that it completely negated every single thing that happened previously. Chloe says, and on that note, good night, AOW. Enjoy the rest of your post show. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We're just about to wrap things up right here. Montrell says, this is the most convoluted 40 minutes of SmackDown ever. It was so overbooked. This made no sense. You have 2 of the best guys to ever lace up their boots. Just let them go. Just let them go. Just let them run wild. This could have been a fantastic, obviously not a lead into the Royal Rumble, but this would have been just a good show. Jeremy says, bye, have a good weekend. See you on Sunday. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I will see you on Sunday. So what started out as a singles match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan all was pretty good. Cesaro was on commentary at the time, so I thought that was great. That was exciting. They're gonna, help put Cesaro over for the Royal Rumble here. Start making this man's a believable main eventer. And then everything started to devolve. Devolve is the correct word. Sami Zayn came out with a sign saying stand against, I actually don't know what the M says. Stand against something injustice. I'm like, okay, here we go. Sami Zayn comes out for the shenanigans, and then they cut to commercial. Fair enough. So Sami's just standing there with the sign, fighting for his injustice, trying to fight for what he believes is right. And then all of a sudden some music hits and Big E comes down. Warrior says, stand against moral injustice. There we go. Stand against moral injustice. So then all of a sudden, Big E makes his way down to the ring. Okay, here we go. This is where everything starts gets laid on real thick. And you know that everything is about to take a turn for the worst. Oh boy, it is starting to get very, very crowded here at the ring. So Big E ends up attacking Sami Zayn. And then everything they lose complete control over everything. So now all of a sudden in the ring, we have AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, and Big E. Everyone is clashing. And then, so before they went to commercial, Shinsuke Nakamura came out as well, which was pretty cool. This part was pretty cool. Good to see Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think this kind of answers some questions for us as to what the fate is for Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. So Shinsuke Nakamura comes out, and we have ourselves a 6-man battle going on. All hell has broken loose. It's just pure chaos. We go to commercial. The show comes back, and now a 6-man tag team match has formed, with the faces being Daniel Bryan, Big E, and Shinsuke Nakamura taking on AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. So now we know for certain that Shinsuke Nakamura is supposed to be a face, and that Cesaro is going to continue on as a heel. Leroy says, went from 100 to 0 real quick. Yeah, for me, I would say it went from 100 to like negative 100 real quick. All Corey kept saying was, this is what the Royal Rumble going to be like. It was annoying. I hate it when they do that. And I can't stand it when they do that. It's so frustrating. Philip says, do you know why I want Edge to win the Royal Rumble? If he does win, I hope they bring back the World Heavyweight Championship. I would love for them to bring back the World Heavyweight Championship. That is my favorite belt of all time. James says, Sami Zayn had his sign that said Big E is not my champion, probably as an MJF reference. I would assume that would be just like a whole reference to the whole not my president thing that we had for like 4 years. But yes, he did have that sign as well. Marcel says this was like a WCW or AEW Super Brawl ending in a super bad way. Yeah, the ending was just terrible. Humberto Carrillo was in my chat, and this man says, it's okay, I'm going to win and save us all. You should be locked up, my friend. You should be locked up. Andre says, did you notice that before Sheamus came in, it was 4 versus 5? Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. So anyways, this was going on as a 6-man tag match, like I was saying. And then at this point, I was like, man, is this match going to end? And then they're going to have some sort of segment with The Miz and John Morrison? Or is this match going to end and then they're going to come out and start throwing people over the top rope, Royal Rumble fashion to get some hype up for the show or whatever? Then, of course, The Miz's music hits. They come out and they just start fighting everyone. One of the really weird things is that Shinsuke Nakamura was on the outside and they attacked him first, and the ref did not call for a disqualification. I thought that was weird. They waited until they got into the ring and attacked Big E and Daniel Bryan, I believe, and then they called for the disqualification. So now I'm super irritated, right? 2 disqualifications. Better yet, 2 disqualifications in the same match. Restarted once again. We just saw this on Monday. On Monday, the first match ended in a disqualification and then a count out, and then it just had a normal win. But we saw the match devolve 3 different times, and they did the same exact thing here. And this one was even weirder because John Morrison and The Miz came out to join the heel side. And then the teams weren't even. The Miz and John Morrison came out and joined the heel side. Otis came out. So everyone was super excited to see Otis versus The Miz again. Otis joined the face side. So now we had 9 face wrestlers against 10, or sorry, we had 4 face wrestlers against 5 heels. Makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So then this match is just continuing on. I think everyone had to have been super frustrated at this point, because I know I was. I haven't read through my comments yet because I've been doing this show, obviously. And then out of nowhere, Sheamus shows up. Which is interesting because I guess this makes Sheamus a certain face as of right now. So now Sheamus is involved in this match that he was not involved in any way. He just literally ran up to the apron and tagged in. He ended up winning this match. He ended up beating Sami Zayn to get the win for the face team. And then, just when you thought that the chaos was over, the Braun Show returns and comes and lays everyone out as well. What in the world? Dude, like, what in the hell happened here? This was a one-on-one match, and all of a sudden, we have 11 people in the ring. Okay. Most of them not even from this brand. So we have Braun Strowman from Raw, Sheamus from Raw, The Miz from Raw, John Morrison from Raw, AJ Styles from Raw. This entire show was literally an episode of Blue Raw. 100%. Like I said earlier, I don't know if a ton of people, I don't know if there's some sort of COVID breakout. I don't know if people are quarantining. I have no idea what is going on, but man, it definitely looked like something was going on for sure. 100% seems like something is going on. So it kind of worries me for the Royal Rumble as well. We mentioned earlier that Jey Uso was no longer a part of the Royal Rumble match card. So is there anyone else that got pulled out of the match? Is there something going on here that we're not informed on? Ooh. Marcel says Braun looked yoked. Yeah, I mean, dude, Braun Strowman's body transformation has been incredible. The man's has an incredible change, and if they're finally bringing him back now, I hope that they can actually do something with him that's not terrible. It's going to be hard to look past that weird construction guy gimmick he's got going on. But I don't know. Hopefully they can actually do something with him right now, because that ship sailed a long time ago. Braun Strowman was at his peak when he was pretty much killing Roman Reigns on Raw every single week. I think that was peak Roman Reigns, or peak Braun Strowman to me. Enigma says Raw was 5 hours this week. 100%. 100%. Humberto says, everyone make sure to tune into Main Event this week to watch me wrestle. Good night to everyone except for AOW. I'll be back someday. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye. Chloe says, that's what should have named the post show. Which one? What should I have named it? I doubled down on the no hype for the Royal Rumble just because it pissed off everyone. So many, dude, there was someone last week that like was commenting on my YouTube on that no hype for the Royal Rumble thing. They were just so upset, and it was just really funny. Once I posted that and posted the picture of Edge, I knew what I had to do. I knew it. So I doubled down on it tonight. I firmly believe that there is no hype for the Royal Rumble. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal. He's a lumberjack, not a construction man. Oh, my apologies. He looks like he's on break from building someone's house. Enigma says, you weren't wrong, though. I even said there was no hype on my podcast. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, man. I don't think that the Royal Rumble has anything going for it other than just having the standard Royal Rumble matches, which should be a given. Hopefully those pan out like they should. The only match that really has hype is Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. That's it. That's really it. Marcel says, if this was AEW, AJ and Daniel Bryan would get 60 minutes. Oh, man, it would be insane to see those two beat the hell out of each other for 60 minutes. That would be incredible. Oh, Blue Raw would have been the best name. Yeah, Blue Raw would have been a good one, but I really wanted to double down on the no hype for the Royal Rumble. I've been trying to pound that into everyone's heads this week so that everyone knows there is no hype for the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it just is what it is. Chloe says, Chad Gable's Otis's partner. Where was he? Good question. But I mean, I guess you can ask that for everyone. Like, where was everyone? Eddie says, gonna go AW. Glad to chat with you and see you in the live stream. Thank you, man. I really appreciate you tuning in and for commenting on that other video. I really appreciate that. We are just about to wrap things up here. I need to go make that video. So Obi James says, it feels like Survivor Series. There was no hype and a really bad build. Yeah. Enigma says the truth is the truth. 100%. 100%. That is why I call myself the keeper of truths, because I just speak the truth, man. I just speak the truth. Anyways, I think that is going to do it for the show tonight. I got to figure out what I'm going to do for this Royal Rumble predictions video here. But yeah, man, this show fell off real hard. Real hard. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. So just so you know, there will be a Royal Rumble predictions video uploaded sometime tomorrow morning. And then after that, we will have a Royal Rumble predictions live stream tomorrow sometime around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the usual time that I stream. And that will be a community one where everyone will be able to give their predictions. And it will be the first time that the Discord will be active. And if you have Discord, you can hop in the voice chat and you can chat to chat yourself. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be fun to have people come in and give their opinions and actually be able to chat with people. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So make sure to tune in for that. That'll be tomorrow. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will have the big Royal Rumble post show, which hopefully is a crazy one. Hopefully it is a really good one. Anthony says, how do I get Discord? You can get Discord in the App Store for your phone. If you have a PC or a Mac, you can just go to like Discord. Is it discord.gg? Discord.com. So if you're doing it on a computer, this is how you get it. If you're doing it on your phone, just search for Discord in there. It's like a chat app, and we will have a voice chat available for people. You can do it on your phone, do it on your computer. If you're doing it on your computer, you do need a microphone and probably some headphones plugged in as well. But I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's the first time that we're going to be doing it. So big weekend ahead of us. If you're still here and you haven't already subscribed yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, please make sure to hit the thumbs up on the video. And I will see you all tomorrow for the Royal Rumble video and the Royal Rumble community predictions live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Peace.